Hi there and welcome. You're here because you're either looking at booking a cruise on the Disney Dream or you've already booked one. And if you've already booked, congratulations. Soon you'll be walking into the atrium having your name called. Well, let's get started showing you all about this ship. First thing though, if you haven't already, download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. It's useful before your trip, but indispensable once you're on board and have connected to the ship Wi-Fi. It's got information on dining, activities, and more, and even allows you to send messages to others in your party or new friends you meet. The Dream and its sister ship, the Fantasy, are the mid-sized ships in the fleet and have 13 floors, starting with crew quarters, operations, and mechanical on Deck 1. On Decks 2 through 5, you'll find the Atrium, Walt Disney Theater, shops, dining, kids clubs, and entertainment district. Then 5 full decks of staterooms up to Deck 11, where you'll find pools, quick service dining, and Senses Spa. Continue to concierge, adult dining, and finally the sports deck on Deck 13. The 3 banks of elevators, forward, mid, and aft, and the fairly straight hallways make it easy to get around the Dream. Of course, the most important location is your stateroom. We're going to take a look at a deluxe ocean view stateroom with veranda on Deck 8. This room is 246 square feet and is able to accommodate 4 guests, 2 on the queen-size bed, 1 in the pull-down berth, and 1 on the sleeper sofa. Some rooms will also be able to accommodate a 5th person with a pull-down Murphy bed. Disney guest cabins have a 2-room bathroom setup, which is great for families. One person can be brushing their teeth while another is in the bathtub. Disney provides you with hand soap and moisturizer, as well as shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in the shower. One thing to keep in mind on the Dream is that there are no USB ports for charging devices in the rooms, so be sure to bring the appropriate cables and hubs. Oh, and if you're worried about the veranda with young children, the doors are very heavy, they lock, and they also have a child lock up toward the ceiling that can't be reached easily. Okay, let's talk about the good stuff. Food. Disney is known for its rotational dining setup. There are 3 main dining rooms where you'll eat in one the first night, move to the second with your serving team on the second night, and then to the third the next night, and so on. You may repeat restaurants depending on the length of your cruise, but you won't repeat menus or entertainment. Deck 2 is where you'll find Enchanted Garden, while Deck 3 is the home to both Royal Palace and Animator's Palette. First up, Royal Palace. Disney says dine like royalty on French-inspired continental fare at this enchanting restaurant inspired by classic Disney princess films. And the inspiration does show, with illustrations of various princesses on the walls, and if you glance up, glass slippers and crowns around the central lighting fixture. On your first night, you'll meet your server and assistant server, and they'll get to know your likes and any special requests. Now keep in mind that you are free to try any and as many menu items as you want, so this is your chance to try out the amazing escargot without missing out on the lobster and shrimp or the duck confit with cranberries and walnuts. Usually entree options will include at least 1 fish, 1 chicken, and 1 beef selection. Here my choice was a grilled strip loin with smashed potatoes, roasted asparagus, and a red wine jus. And something to keep in mind, if you're not in the mood for the buffet upstairs for breakfast or lunch, most days Royal Palace will be your sit-down option. For dinner, our next location can be found aft on Deck 3, it's Animator's Palette. It's a well-themed and wide open space with plenty of video screens and animation props scattered about the rooms. Here you'll find the internet-famous black truffle pasta percettes, as well as a smoked salmon tartare with dill, capers, and a horseradish cream. Entrees include an herb-crusted pork chop, a pasta bolognese, and a nicely grilled tuna steak.
Oh, check out all the human dudes!
Shorter cruises will have Crush visiting you during the meal, while 7-day and longer trips will also have the animation magic show starring a character you draw. Enchanted Garden is located on Deck 2, and there's not much of a show here, although the lighting in the garden will change and the overhead flowers will open during the meal. Here you'll find one of our favorite appetizers, the Tuna Avocado Tower. This is also the home of the much photographed seared scallops and couscous entree, and there's a very nice prime rib choice on the menu as well. Desserts in the main dining room tend to be just okay in our experience, but this pecan tart and the chocolate torte were pretty tasty. On disembarkation day, you'll have the option to have breakfast in the same location you had for dinner the night before. It's a menu of basic breakfast items like pancakes, eggs, and pastries, and it's where you can bid a fond farewell to your serving team. Of course, the rotational dining locations aren't the only place to get food on the ship. Open every day for breakfast and lunch is Cabanas, the buffet on Deck 11 aft, as well as the quick service options at midship at Flo's V8 Cafe. As you step out of the aft bank of elevators, there's a hand washing station to clean up at before you get your food, as most of the stations are self-serve on the buffet. Cabanas is set up pod style, meaning there's no need to, and you shouldn't, form a long queue moving down the entire line. Just jump into the station you want, grab a plate, load up, and move on. For your morning meal, you'll find the infamous Mickey waffles, as well as the usual things like pancakes and French toast. There's usually a rotating version of Eggs Benedict and Hollandaise, plus possibly mushrooms, tomatoes, and beans for your full British breakfast. There's fruit and a variety of types of cereal and milk, as well as yogurt with all the toppings like raisins, dried apricots, and different kinds of nuts. There's also several areas that have repeated items like bacon and sausage, as well as pastries. The buffet is mirrored on either side of the ship, so if one side is busy, feel free to go around to the other side and see how things look. Cabanas has a juice and soft drink station, as well as regular coffee and tea, but if you desire something a little more fancy in the morning, they do have that available at an extra cost. It really is a great place to get your food, sit outside, and admire the port you're going to be heading out to later. For lunch, there's always a pizza station as well as a pod of kid items like chicken strips and French fries. The fruit and cereal station now holds small pre-made salads and dressings, as well as all the crab legs and shrimp you could care to eat. Other pods will change from day to day, and offerings might include an ethnic station with schnitzel, cabbage, and a variety of different sausages. Dessert offerings can be found toward the back of the ship and include a pretty tasty carrot cake and soft chocolate chip cookies. Another dining option is Flo's V8 Cafe, which you'll find by the midship elevators. It's a collection of 4 separate stations, and they're open most of the day. First off is Tomater's Grill, where you'll find burgers, hot dogs, and chicken strips along with French fries if you ask, and yes, the chicken strips are very craveable. Then there's Luigi's Pizza. The pizza here is just passable, nothing very special. Fillmore's Favorites has a variety of pre-made sandwiches, salads, and fruit bowls, but the newcomer to the block is the best. Added during dry dock in 2024 is Ramon's Cantina. They will do tacos or bowls with chicken, steak, or veggies, plus all the goodies like cheese, guacamole, and sour cream. The toppings bar nearby now has salsas and hot sauces to go along with all the burger additions like lettuce, tomato, onion, and everything else. Really, it's hard to walk by without wanting to grab a taco or two, but here's a little tip. They don't have chips on board, so if you want some to go with your guac, bring them from home. Coke products on the pool deck are included and available 24/7, but bring a tumbler with you if you don't want to use the small cups. Tea and coffee are available here as well. A kid and adult favorite, the included self-serve soft serve ice cream is on the port side of the ship, usually 3 or 4 flavors, and Frozones is right next door with smoothies and bar drinks. Past Frozones in the adult area is where you'll find the Cove Cafe, home of specialty coffees, and they also have complimentary snacks and pastries in their showcase. Down on Deck 4 at Vista Cafe, they'll have the same menu of drinks, and you can get some fun designs printed in the foam on top. Don't forget to get a stamp on your buy 5, get 1 free coffee card. They also have their own snack showcase, which in the late afternoon will switch from pastries to olive, cheese, and cracker plates. Back up on Deck 11, outside the starboard entrance to Cabanas, is Vanellope's Sweets and Treats, obviously themed around the characters from Wreck-It Ralph. Everything in here is at an extra cost and super cute, but it's all a step up from the included sweets that you'll find. There are cupcakes and macarons, as well as ice cream, gelato, and a variety of toppings. You can even get a family challenge sundae, and that is 6 scoops of ice cream, 6 toppings, and whipped cream in a souvenir trophy cup for just $20. A single scoop with a topping will run you about $4.50. You'll also find the usual Disney bag treats and some other candy here. Even if you're not buying, make sure you stop in just to check out the adorable theming. You may notice this area by 687 Pub as you're walking about, but it becomes much more impressive late at night when they put out a small spread of hot and cold snacks. Sometimes you'll find things that remind you of that night's dinner, but it's all pretty yummy when you're walking by at 11 p.m. Don't forget that room service is included, the only cost being a small tip for the server. It's available 24/7, and you can even ask for Mickey ice cream bars. Here's a look at the available menu from the Navigator app. That's a lot of dining options, but say you want to kick things up a notch. On Deck 12 are the adults-only restaurants Palo, and right next door, Remy. In between them is the Meridian Lounge, a quiet spot where you can have a drink or two while you wait for dinner. Drink seminars will also be held in here at times, and they have a pretty mean selection of whiskeys and bourbons along with other high-end liquors. They also do make a wicked chocolate martini. There are nice outdoor seating areas on either side of the lounge, but keep in mind that one side will allow smoking. Now, as Disney puts it, head to Palo to savor classic Northern Italian cooking with a modern twist at this chic, adult-exclusive restaurant. It's a feast for the senses, and they're not wrong. A meal at Palo is a high point of any cruise. You can and should make reservations for Palo when your booking date opens. That date will vary based on your Castaway Club status. That's a level based on how many Disney cruises you've been on. Dinner at Palo is priced two ways, either fixed price or a la carte. Fixed price will cost you $50 currently and will get you your choice of appetizer, salad, entree, and dessert from the offered options. If you go a la carte, the menu is your oyster, although there are no oysters on the menu, but you can even share plates at no extra cost. First courses can include a delicious unshareable fried calamari or a wonderful burrata caprese. For a pasta option, we love the lobster pappardelle or the gnocchi with pesto. The fork tender ossobuco is so flavorful with the risotto underneath, but the ultimate way to finish a meal here is with the chocolate souffle, which needs to be ordered mid-dinner so the kitchen has time to prepare it. Now, Palo also offers an amazing brunch, which is fixed price for all you care to eat, and that price is currently also $50. They'll start you off with a complimentary mimosa and then a variety of breads and flaky and sweet pastries. Be sure to ask for the almond croissants, they are amazing. Then antipasti, a platter of cured meats and cheeses or one of seafood. Get both if you want, it's all included. There are several eggs Benedict options, also waffles as well as frittatas and flatbreads, and main course options include mushroom ravioli and a classic lasagna. By the way, Castaway Club members who are platinum level or higher will get a $50 credit for Palo. That'll cover your brunch, but don't forget to tip. If you thought Palo was something, wait until you experience Remy.
The wines that were featured in the movie, the first one is Chateau Latour 1961, and the second one is Chateau Cheval Blanc 1947.
Of course, the movie he's speaking of is Ratatouille, and the wines he speaks of are $7,000 and $25,000 respectively. No need to order those to have a great meal though, but one thing to keep in mind is that there is a dress code for both Remy and Palo, and you don't want to show up unprepared. Check the Disney website for details. Remy is definitely nouveau cuisine, and the dishes, while fantastically prepared and a treat for the senses, may not be for everyone, especially at the fixed price of $135 per person currently. Something definitely out of the ordinary is the incredible cheese cart where you can sample 10 different cheeses before enjoying a variety of sweets for dessert. Dining at either Palo or Remy, you can't go wrong either way. Another thing grown-ups get to enjoy is all the bar options scattered about the ship. Things get started at Currents on Deck 13, and then the Meridian Lounge, which we just discussed, on Deck 12, as well as Waves, a bar I've never seen open. There's a pool bar in the adult area on Deck 11, and then the Entertainment District on Deck 4, and finally Bon Voyage near the Atrium on Deck 3. Currents is a great place to get your drink of the day, and it's your best bet for drinks while enjoying the sun deck at Satellite Falls near the bow of the ship. Now on Deck 12, Waves, I'm not sure what this bar is about. I have never seen it open, but it has some nice seating. The adult pool on Deck 11 has its own bar, and they do have several taps for draft beer as well as blenders for your frozen tropical favorites. The Entertainment District on Deck 4, aptly named The District, starts with the District Lounge, home to many trivia events. Right next door is 687 Pub, and they usually have the best selection of draft beers here. Be sure to visit during happy hour when all drafts are half price, as well as select cocktails and wine. They do also have pub snacks like wings and pretzels at an extra cost. If you're nice, they might give you some complimentary mix to nibble on. On the other side of the District Lounge is the Skyline, home to many drink seminars. The Skyline has a wall of video screen windows that show scenes from around the world. Nearby is Pink, the ship's champagne bar. There's a piano here, and there will usually be live entertainment in the evening. They also host a happy hour, so check the Navigator app for details. The last club, Evolution, is the largest venue and home to all of the fun stuff that happens. Lots of trivia and adult games like The Quest and Match Your Mate. This is where the party is. Somewhat off topic, between Evolution and 687 is the coolest bathroom area on the ship. Down on Deck 3, just off the atrium, is Bon Voyage. It's a great place to people watch, and they make the drink of the day from scratch, scratch, so you know you're getting the good stuff, and they make a pretty good dirty martini as well. Nearby is Preludes, where you can get drinks and some popcorn before heading into the show that night. Now, let's talk pools and water attractions, starting with Satellite Falls on Deck 13 at the bow of the ship. This area, for adults only, is named after the hidden communications equipment, but it's a fantastic place to cool off or just to sit and read a good book away from the hustle and bustle. Servers from Currents will come around to bring you your favorite drink while you relax, and this area also provides the best view when leaving port. One deck down is the Aqueduct, a water slide coaster where water jets push you up hills and along the 760-foot long ride. You should check the line right after boarding the ship and also on port days for shorter waits. Also on Deck 12, above the adult pool, is the Funnel Puddle. It's a small water feature you can just kind of hang out in and cool off. Down below on Deck 11 is the Water Splash Zone Nemo's Reef for younger children, as well as the Mickey and Donald pools. Nemo's Reef is a fun and colorful area to play in for those who aren't yet 3 years old, which is the minimum to enter any pool. Swim diapers are required here, but are prohibited in the pools. There's even a tiny slide for toddlers. And speaking of slides, along with the 2 pools on the main deck, there's Mickey's Slide for ages 4 to 14. And when there are deck parties up there, panels will slide to cover the pools. It's pretty neat. Lastly, there's the adult pool deep enough to submerge yourself in, along with a shallower area if you just want to sit and relax. And of course, the pool bar. Disney Cruise Line is known for its fun activities for kids, and those center around the kids clubs. At the bow of the ship are the Edge for tweens aged 11 to 14 and the Vibe for those 14 to 17. On Deck 5 are the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab for ages 3 to 10. While in dry dock in 2024, the Dream segmented off about a third of the space of the Vibe and moved the Edge Club into that space. Once up the stairs from Deck 4, you'll find that the Vibe still retains its super cool and colorful entrance, and inside it now has a new shared sink and individual restroom area. Once you get in the club, you'll find plenty of places to relax and hang out with new friends. And on a nicer day, teens can enjoy the sun outside in their private area and even play games like Gaga Ball or Foursquare in the new ball pit. And of course, the large central area for karaoke or dancing. Through a door in Vibe and also accessible through its own separate entrance is Edge, a cool room to hang out in, meet people, and play games. Tweens may also meet up here before going out to do another activity like basketball up on the sports deck. On Deck 5 are the Oceaneers Club and Oceaneers Lab, 2 large connected areas for kids aged 3 to 10. Lots of fun activities that go on here, supervised and run by trained youth counselors. There are themed play spaces around the area like the Mobile Web Workshop, where recruits will use web tech to fight enemies. This area is brand new, added during dry dock in 2024. Nearby is Pixie Hollow, where kids can work on craft projects, use kid-friendly tablets, and also listen to stories. Star Wars Millennium Falcon lets kids train like a Jedi, design a starship, or navigate the Falcon through the Star Wars universe. And then there's Andy's Room, a larger-than-life Toy Story play area where you can get up close with a favorite character or two. Rawr! There is a big emphasis on cleanliness here, and children must be completely toilet-trained and able to use the individual restrooms. Across the connecting lab area, where kids might get to interact with a crazy scientist or work on other projects, is the Oceaneers Lab, with its focus on creativity and hands-on activity. This area has themed and interactive rooms set up around the Magic Play floor, which itself is the home of interactive games and mazes. One of the play areas is Playmation, a space for interactive Avengers missions. Children can check themselves into these fun club areas, and those 8 and older whose parents have given the okay can check themselves out. For those under 3, there's the It's a Small World nursery when parents need a little alone time. And what they might do with that adult time is head to Deck 11 for a visit to Senses Spa, where one can get services such as massages, skin wraps, and manicures. It's also home to the wildly popular Rainforest Room, a relaxing area with scented showers and heated tile loungers. At no extra cost though, any guest can enter and use the extensive gym equipment as well as the dry sauna and showers in the changing rooms. Also, check the Navigator app for stretching and workout classes here. Now it's time to take a look at where everyone can find some more fun activities on the Dream. On Deck 13 is Goofy's Sports Deck. Down on Deck 5 is the Bippity Boppity Boutique. Deck 4 is home to both the D Lounge and the Buena Vista Theater. And the Walt Disney Theater spans decks 3 and 4. On Goofy's sports deck, you'll find a full basketball court surrounded by netting, as well as a 9-hole miniature golf course that you can play with the provided putters. There are also virtual sports simulators available for reservation and at an extra cost. The Bippity Boppity Boutique is where young guests can be transformed into a princess, knight, sea captain, or pirate. Fairy Godmother apprentices assist in making kids look their magical best. Packages offer themed costumes as well as styling and accessories. Keep in mind, though, that pirate makeovers are only available on Pirate Night. Nearby is the starting point for the Midship Detective Agency, an interactive game that takes guests of all ages around the entire ship to solve different mysteries. The D Lounge on Deck 4 hosts all kinds of family fun, including plenty of opportunities to participate in trivia, as well as jackpot bingo, game shows, karaoke, and even dance parties with your favorite characters. The Buena Vista Theater on Decks 4 and 5 will generally host Disney-owned movies several times a day, from an old favorite like Raiders of the Lost Ark to the newest film from Pixar or Disney Animation. There will also be special presentations, and this could be where your excursion group will meet before leaving. Sometimes fun things will be happening in the main atrium, like Jack Jack's Diaper Dash, a crawling, or in this case toddling race for the youngest cruisers. It's also where guests can usually find characters from the queued royal gathering of princesses to the more informal meetup or conga line. You never know who's going to show up in the atrium. Before showtime in the Walt Disney Theater, be sure to stop by Preludes for your candy, popcorn, or drink needs. Inside this spacious theater spanning 2 decks, you'll see shows like The Golden Mickeys or Disney's Believe. We can't leave out the ever-popular Pirates in the Caribbean night, where the dining rooms will have a special pirate-themed menu offering choices like crab cakes and jerk chicken, and then up on deck, 2 different pirate shows, and a performance of fireworks at sea to finish things off. Part of the fun of cruising is visiting new places, and there are plenty of opportunities for excursions, from sightseeing to tastings and even beach outings. Disney Dream Cruises, usually based in the Bahamas or Caribbean, will likely include a day visit to either Castaway Cay or Disney's newest island retreat, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. This venue has plenty of seating near a very nice beach, although the shade situation can be a little iffy. The Rush Out Gush Out play area is an interactive space for kids with 2 slides and lots of opportunities to cool off. Nearby, the Serenity Bay area is for adults only, with its own cabanas, beach space, and barbecue. Shopping includes a store of Disney souvenirs as well as one with local Bahamian crafts and goods. True True Barbecue provides the included lunch of burgers, grilled chicken, ribs, fish, and all the fixings. That lunch and the whole day, it's something to look forward to, for sure. Back on the ship, something you may not look forward to but may have to do is laundry. In the stateroom, in the closet, is a guide telling you pricing for items you send out to be laundered, although sometimes they may run a special price of $25 for as much as you can fit in the laundry bag. If all that seems too pricey, there are several self-serve launderettes on the ship. They're of different sizes, so if the machines in one are busy, check out another one. For instance, this one had 3 washers and dryers, while the one on Deck 5 has 6 of each. A cycle is $3.50, while soap is $1.25. And you'll also find irons and steamers available. Okay, back to the fun stuff. So let's talk shopping. On the Dream, the majority of shops are located on Deck 3 between the atrium and the Walt Disney Theater. Keep in mind that shops are not open when in port, and also they get very crowded on the last night. Do your shopping early and often. Don't forget to show off any discounts like a Disney Visa or a DVC membership. My favorite place to shop is Sea Treasures. This will be your more adult store with cruise line clothing, hats, tumblers, and so on. You'll also find collectibles like ornaments, pins, and artwork. And let me tell you, if you find something you like in your size, buy it then, because it may sell out later in the voyage and you'll be out of luck. Across from Sea Treasures is Mickey's Mainsail, where kids will find costumes, toys, and clothing in their size, though there is also more themed clothing for adults as well. This is the place to look if you left your Pirate Night clothing at home on the bed. You'll also be able to find less costly souvenirs like picture frames and candy and even more pins. Here is also where you'll find sundries like over-the-counter medicines, bathroom supplies, or things to help with your motion sickness. If there's still money in the wallet, back across from Sea Treasures is Diamonds and Wishes. That's where you can find higher-end jewelry, watches, and things like Pandora charms. And up on Deck 11 is Who's Its and What's Its with pool and beach items, but be quick as it's open only very occasionally. Lastly, on Deck 4 is Shutters, where you can order Disney art to be sent to your home. You should take a minute at the kiosks as they offer some pretty fun attraction posters in their collection. There are also plenty of monitors to preview any ship's photos that are on your account by the ship's photographers, and there is also a private portrait studio available to book for sessions. And that, my friends, is an overview of the Disney Dream. This is one of the best designed and most fun ships in the Disney fleet. You just can't go wrong with this one. So thanks for stopping by, bon voyage, and enjoy your cruise.